again to a new English lesson in the Electronic Window project. Today we will complete the main ideas in Theme 4, Science and Nature, and we will be dealing with reading and writing mainly. So please stay with us.
Reading section, general summary and vocabulary. In this section you read entries from an encyclopedia about science and nature, and you learned some vocabulary items. So the most important thing here is that we read entries from an encyclopedia, and the word encyclopedia actually means a very big book where you can find information about any topic that you want to know about. So if it is a science encyclopedia, it means this is a book where you can find information about scientific topics. It seems to me like a dictionary, but a dictionary is actually a book you can use to find words, but this is the encyclopedia is a book where you can find information. Normally, as you know, we study 2 texts in each reading section in every theme, and right now we are going to give you the main points of the first reading text. Firstly, we knew that ecology is the study of the relationship between living things and their environment. Ecology is a word meaning a science that studies the relationship between living things and their environment. Again, ecology is, the definition of ecology is, the study of the relationship between living things and their environment. Another fact is that living things depend on each other to survive. Living things. What are living things? Living things are humans, are animals, are plants. So those depend on each other in order to survive or in order to be able to live. This is because all living things are involved in 3 things. These are food chains, food webs, and food pyramids. Again, living things depend on each other to survive. This is because all living things are involved in food chains, food webs, and food pyramids. The third point is that climate change may destroy an ecosystem. So any change in the climate or the weather might cause destruction or may destroy an ecosystem. It might destroy the balance in an environment. Another fact is that we should know that at the top of every food chain there is a consumer. It is often a carnivore. This consumer eats another consumer, and this consumer is often a herbivore. So we knew that if we have a food chain, there is usually a consumer at the top of the food chain. A consumer is often a carnivore, and we'll explain the meaning of carnivore when we come to the vocabulary section. This consumer eats another consumer, and this consumer is often a herbivore. Then, speaking of that, of food chains, we know that at the bottom of every food chain there is a producer. So, previously we said that at the top there is a consumer, and at the bottom, what do we have? We have a producer. A producer. You also came through the following information. Number 1, The rainforests of the world are in tropical climate, so we know that when we have where we have rainforests, it should be in a tropical climate. Tropical climate, of course, means hot climate. Number 2, palm tree, cacao tree, and banana tree are found in tropical climate. So these are trees that always grow in tropical or very hot climate. What are they? Again, there are palm trees, cacao trees, and banana trees. These grow in tropical climate. Next, we know that penguins, seals, and bears live in polar areas. So we know that penguins, seals, and bears live in polar areas. Polar areas are known to be very, very cold. Yes, they are very cold. Then, camels, snakes, oryx, and desert fox are found in desert area. So, now we know about some trees, some animals, some sea animals that live in different areas of the world. Okay, now it's time for some exercises. Please match each of the following words to the right definition. We have the word ecology, ecology, ecology. We gave you the definition of that word at the beginning. Ecology. Environment should be very clear from the picture. Environment. Food chain. Food chain. Web, very famous from the internet. We usually say website. Web. Pyramid. Pyramid, as you can see in the picture, we have 3 pyramids very famous in Egypt. Climate. Climate. Consumer. Consumer. Well, what's a consumer? Consumer, usually in our everyday life, we know that a consumer is somebody who consumes things, who buys things, as you can see in the picture. Carnivore, it's a kind of an animal. A carnivore, a kind of an animal. But what kind of an animal? It's usually an animal that eats meat. A herbivore, from the first part of the word we can tell, herb comes from the word herb, which means a kind of plant. So a herbivore, again, is a kind of an animal, but it feeds on, yes, on plants. Very good. And then another type of an animal, which is omnivore. Omnivore. Okay. Omnivore, of course, is a kind of an animal that feeds on both plants and meat. Producer. Producer. So, producer is somebody who produces something. Could be a person, could be a company. But of course, in our text, in the reading text, it had a different meaning. rainforest. Rain and forest. We know the meaning of forest is a place with lots of trees, and we have the word rainforest, which is usually found in places of tropical climate. It's rainforest, and you can see here a place with a lot of trees, rainforest. Tropical, tropical. This is a tropical place, where there is very, very hot weather. Tropical. Polar. Polar, it comes from the word pole. Polar. As you can see, polar is a place where there is very, very cold weather. Okay, here we come to the definitions. We have to match them with. Okay, a forest in a tropical part of the world. A forest in a tropical part of the world. Good, that's rainforest. Rainforest, very good. Another one, a person, company, or a country that makes or grows something. A person, company, or a country that makes or grows something. That's producer, very good. Producer. So a producer is a person, company, or a country that makes or grows something. Next. Found in the tropics. The two lines of latitude that are north and south the equator. The Tropic of Cancer and the Tropic of Capricorn. So, the word is great, tropical, very easy. That's found in the tropics. The two lines. What are the tropics? The tropics are the two lines of latitude that are north and south of the equator. The Tropic of Cancer, we have two tropics normally, the Tropic of Cancer and the Tropic of Capricorn. So, the word tropical is an adjective describing anything that's found in these areas. Tropical. Number 4, a person who buys things or uses services. A person who buys things or uses services. What's that word? It starts with a C letter. Yes, great. That's consumer. Consumer. Then, number 5. The normal weather conditions of a particular region are dry, humid, tropical, etc. The normal weather conditions of a particular region. That's weather. A word related to weather. That is great. Climate. Climate is the normal weather conditions of a particular region. Could be dry, humid, or tropical, whatever. Number 6. A shape with a flat base and 3 or 4 triangular sides. So that's a shape with a flat base and 3 or 4 triangular sides. That is pyramid. Very good. Pyramid. Pyramid. Number 7. An animal that eats all types of food, both plants and meat. An animal that eats all types of food, both plants and meat. That's omnivore. Very good. It's omnivore. An animal that eats all types of food, both plants and meat. Next, a series of living creatures, each of which feeds on the one below it in the series. So if we have a group or series of living creatures or living things, each of which feeds on the one below it in the series, what do we call that situation? Actually, it's a food chain. So now we know the meaning of the word food chain. Food chain is a series of living creatures, each of which feeds on the one below it in the series. Number 9. Near the North or South Pole. Near the North or South Pole. From the word pole you can guess. We have two poles, the North Pole and the South Pole, and normally they are very, very cold. So we need the adjective related to that, which is very good, polar. Polar. Okay, number 10. A net. A net of fine threads made by a spider. Spider. A net of fine threads made by a spider. Actually, we have another word for the word net, which is web. Web. Number 11. The condition in which you live, work, etc. The natural world, land, air, water, etc. What is that? The condition in which you live or work, the natural world, the land, the air, the water, etc. That is called, very good, that is called, very easy. This is called the environment. The environment. Okay, number 12. The relations between living things and their surroundings. Surroundings mean the things that's around us. The relations between living things and their surroundings, or the things that are around them. The relations between living things and their surroundings. That is ecology. Yes, we said that it's a science that studies the relationship between living things and their environment or their surroundings. 13. An animal that eats meat. An animal that eats only meat. That is carnivore. Carnivore. Very good. An animal that eats only meat is called carnivore. Carnivore. Number 14. An animal that feeds on plants, only on plants. An animal that feeds on plants and only on plants is called herbivore. Herbivore. Herbivore is an animal that feeds on plants. Now, we would like to have another exercise, which is fill in the spaces using the above word list. Make any necessary changes. The above word list means all the words we studied previously. Make any necessary changes. Number 1. Brazil is a major dots of coffee. Brazil is a major dots of coffee. You can hear it. Very good. Is a major producer of coffee. Very good. So Brazil is a major producer of coffee. Okay. Number 2. Have you ever visited the Great Dots of Giza? To make it easier for you, Giza is a place in Egypt, and Egypt is famous for Yes. Have you ever visited the great, very good, the great pyramids of Giza? The great pyramids of Giza. Because we have very, very famous pyramids. There are 3 in Egypt. Next. Number 3. A bad home, dots, can affect a child's progress at school. A bad home, dots, can affect a child's progress at school. So, a bad home, of course, we should talk about the things that surround or that are around a child, and this is what we call, great, this is environment. So a bad home environment can affect a child's progress at school. A bad home environment can affect a child's progress at school. Another question. What are the effects of global warming on our dots? Global warming, of course, is a phenomenon, meaning that the temperature of the earth is always rising. So what are the effects of global warming on our, what do you think? One of the words we studied today. On our, great, on our climate. Yes, of course, global warming affects our climate because it will be very hot. What are the effects of global warming on our climate? Number 5. Dots should complain if they are not satisfied with the service. So, if there is a kind of service, who has the right to complain if they are not satisfied? Those are, very good, those are, excellent, those are consumers. So consumers should complain if they are not satisfied with the service. Very good. Number 6. A Dots bear is a large white animal that lives in the area near the North Pole. So my best guess is that you should have an adjective here describing this bear. What kind of bear is it? And you have a clue here because it lives near the North Pole. So you're almost there. Yes, very good. It's a polar bear. A polar, the adjective from pole. A polar bear is a large white animal that lives in the area near the North Pole. Great work. Number 7. I can't stand living in a dots area. It is very hot. So what kind of area is very hot, as we told you today? It's an adjective. What kind of area is usually very hot? I can't stand living in, excellent, in tropical area, in a tropical area. I can't stand living in a tropical area. It is very hot. A spider spins. Yes, a spider. The word spider is usually collocates with another word. A spider usually makes what? Very good, webs. That's the job of a spider. A spider usually spins or makes webs. Okay, in this section you learned the following. Doing research. This is very important. You learned how to do a research. Doing research. And we knew that the entries in many reference books are in alphabetical order. This is very important. So when you have reference books, they are usually in the alphabetical order. If two words have the same first letter, you look at the second letter, then the third letter, etc. If two words have the same first letter, you look at the second letter, then the third letter, and so on. Another thing is that you should always do reading research for purpose. You should always do reading research for purpose. Okay. Another thing, if you'd like to write a research paper, please write some research questions before you read. This is very important. Any teacher or any instructor at a college would tell you that the most important thing in writing a research paper is writing questions before you read. Examples are, what is ecology? Or what is the food chain? Then go and do the research to find the answers to those questions. So the main point here that you should have a purpose, and the purpose is translated in terms of a question. Find the question, write the question, and then go find the answer to the question. Follow any links. For example, carnivore, to extract information that will help to answer the research questions. Don't read anything you don't have to read. So you have to find the most important words. For example, the word carnivore is an important word, so this should be a link. Go to the word carnivore, try to find information, because this will help you to find the answers to your questions. You also learned the following tips for reading. So we come to the reading skills now. What should you do before you start to read a text? What should you do before you start to read a text? Usually you think that the reading starts when you look at the page, but there are a lot of things you should do before reading a text. Okay, you have to read the title first, or the heading. Read the title or the heading. Actually, we discussed this at length in the first semester. So you start with reading the title and the heading before reading the paragraphs in the text. Number 2, you have to look at the illustrations. Illustrations, of course, mean pictures, drawings, graphs, anything that illustrates the meaning or the title for you. Number 3, read the captions of the illustrations, because sometimes the drawing or the pictures have some captions on them with some words, so you have to read the captions because they will tell you a lot about the ideas in the text. You could understand so many things even before reading the whole text word by word. Number 4, try to predict, and this is very important, try to predict the content from the title and the illustrations. So why do you read the title? Why do you look at the illustrations? Because you need to predict, to foresee, to know the content before reading the text. You know it from the title and from the illustrations. The next, look at the introduction and the first paragraph. So look at the introduction and the first paragraph. Usually the introduction is in the first paragraph, and the first paragraph can tell you a lot about main ideas and the most important points you will read, and usually they are in order, which will help you a lot. After that, read the topic sentence of each paragraph. So now you've read the first paragraph, which is the introduction. Now you go to the topic sentence, the most important sentence of each paragraph that follows the first one. Then read the questions. Try to find a key word or words in the questions and look for them in the text. So if you are having a test and you have some questions, you have to read the questions even before reading the text word by word, and then you can try to find a key word or words in the questions themselves. Then you can go and find these keywords in the text, and usually you'll find the same words or even words that have the same meaning. Okay, now we have some self-study tasks for you to do. Okay. Read the encyclopedia entries on pages 91 and 94 and answer the following questions. And you have these pages, of course, on your student's book. Try to answer the following questions. Number 1. How can climate change or people destroy an ecosystem? How can climate change or people destroy an ecosystem? Notice we have two parts here in the question. We would like you to know how can both climate change, this is one thing, and people destroy an ecosystem. Another question. What is the difference between a food chain and a food pyramid? Find the difference between the meaning of food chain and a food pyramid. Number 3, what is a food web? What is the meaning of the word food web? Number 4, why is it very difficult in real life to predict the effect of a change in one part of the web? Again, why is it very difficult in real life to predict or to foresee the effect of a change in one part of the web? Next, what is a biome? Try to find the definition of that word. Number 6, how is the weather in desert climates? How is the weather in desert climates? Try to describe the weather in deserts. Number 7, where do all energy originates come from? Where do all energy originates come from? Number 8, what is the difference between the primary and the secondary consumer? Very important point. What is the difference between primary and the secondary consumer? Okay, then what is a niche? Number 9, explain the process of photosynthesis. Explain the process of photosynthesis. Actually, there is no need to worry about all these difficult words, because the point here is try to find them in the text. We are after the reading skill, not the information itself. Okay, then we move on to writing. Again, we'll give you some general summary and vocabulary items. In this section you wrote a progress report and you learned some vocabulary items. So be careful, we'll know about a progress report. Progress reports usually have sections with headings. The first one is introduction. Then we have background. Then progress to date, that means until now, progress to date. Then in the future, so you have to write about what will happen in the future. Number 5, final achievements. Okay, and here are the main points of a progress report on the Great Man-Made River project in Libya. This is a project you studied in your book. It was a good example of a progress report. Okay. Introduction. So you have to look at this introduction because it might be a good model for you when you try to write another progress report. The introduction went like this. This is a progress report on a major engineering project in Libya called the Great Man-Made River Project. A South Korean company is doing the majority of the constructions. The first half of the project cost $10.2 billion. So again, look at this. You have this sentence at the beginning. This is a progress report on, and then you write the name of the project, or you give an idea on the project. On a major engineering project in Libya, you have to write the place where it is. Called, so then you should give the name of the project. The Great Man-Made River Project. Notice we have the first letters in capitals, the G, M, N, R, P in capitals. A South Korean company is doing the majority of the constructions, so you should write about who is doing the project. The first half of the project cost $10.2 billion, so you have to write a number, or you have to write about the cost of the project. So this was the introduction. Next, the exact cost of the second half is not clear at present, but it will be approximately $10 billion, of course. The aim of the project is to bring fresh water from the desert to the coast. So here you talk about the aim of the project, which is very important. Why do we have this project? Okay, so we had the introduction, then we'll move to the background. In 1960, oil companies found a huge reservoir of water deep under the desert. Construction of GMR started in 1990. They divided into 5 phases. So here, of course, GMR is the name of the project, but here we have only the initials of the words. So that's Great Man-Made River. In the background, you have to write about when did the idea of the project start, what date did people start to think about it. Okay, you have to write a background. You have to write about the background of the project. So here we said that it's divided into 5 phases or 5 stages. Okay, then you have to write progress to date. Okay, let's look at this. Firstly, in phase 1, pipes brought 2 million cubic meters of water to Benghazi Next, pipes brought 2.5 million cubic meters of water to Tripoli in phase 2. After that, pipes brought an extra 1.5 million cubic meters to Benghazi in phase 3. So here you have to write about what happened till now. You have to write everything that happened from the beginning of the project till today. You have to write numbers, details, everything. Okay, then very important, you have to write this heading: in the future. What will happen in the future? What is expected or what is planned for in the future? Phase 4 will bring. See here we have the word will because we talk about the future. Phase 4 will bring 1 million cubic meters to Tobruk. Phase 5 will connect phase 1 and phase 2. Very good. So don't forget to use will for the future. Final achievement. Okay. Firstly, the project will bring fresh water to the whole population of Libya. Secondly, GMR, which is the name of the project, Great Man-Made River, will produce an extra 1,500 square kilometers of agricultural land. Okay. Again, firstly, the project will bring fresh water to the whole population of Libya. So this is the main aim of the project, the most important achievement, bringing fresh water to the whole population of Libya. Secondly, it will produce an extra 1,500 square kilometers of agricultural land. Okay, so that was a sample of a progress report. Now, we come to the vocabulary items. Match each of the following words to the right definition. Progress. 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 Engineering. Engineering. From the picture you can tell. Engineering. Project. Project. Construction. Construction. Coast. Coast. Exact. Exact. Approximately. Approximately. We studied that word in the previous section. Approximately. Aim. Aim. Fresh water. Fresh water. Phase. Phase. Okay, then we come to the definitions. Okay, number 1. Completely correct or accurate. That's an adjective meaning completely correct or accurate. Great, that's exact. Exact. Very good. Number 2. Not salt, not seawater. If you have water that is not salt and it's not seawater, we call that fresh water. Very good. Fresh water. Number 3. the money that you have to pay for something, or the price. Another word for the price. Very good there. Cost. Cost. Okay, number 4. Almost correct, but not completely accurate. Not completely accurate. That is approximately. Very good. It's not something completely correct. Next, a piece of work often involving many people that is planned and organized carefully. A piece of work often involving many people that is planned and organized carefully. That's project. Very good. Project. The process of getting better or getting closer to finishing. The process of getting better or getting closer to finishing. Very good there. That's progress. Progress. Getting better or getting closer to finishing. Progress. Number 7, the act or method of building or making something. The act or method of building or making something. Construction. Very good. Construction. So construction is the act or method of building or making something. Number 8, a period in the development of something. A period in the development of something. Phase. Phase. A period in the development of something. Number 9, the work that is done by an engineer. The work that is done by an engineer. Engineering, of course, engineering. Number 10, something that you intend to do or achieve. Something that you intend to do or achieve. Aim. Aim. Something you intend to do or achieve. Now, time for exercises. Fill in the spaces using the above word list. Remember to make any necessary changes. That means a word could be in the plural or the singular form, or a verb might need you to add an S at the end. Okay? Number 1, he got a degree in mechanical. He got a degree in mechanical. One of the words we just studied. He got a degree in mechanical. Excellent. Mechanical engineering. He got a degree in mechanical engineering. Number 2, this is a new bridge. It is now under. This is a new bridge. It is now under. Very good usage of the word under. Excellent. Under construction. We usually say that something is under construction because it's not finished yet. This is a new bridge. It is now under construction. It means it is being built right now. Number 3, what is the dot's time? We need an adjective here. What is the dot's time? What is the, very good, exact time? What is the exact time? Number 4, Ali has made good dots with his studies this year. Ali has made good dots with his studies this year. Good. Progress. Ali has made good progress with his studies this year. Next, It is dots 50 miles from here. It is dots 50 miles from here. It is approximately. It means you're not sure that it's exactly 50 miles. Exactly 50 miles. So it is approximately 50 miles from here. Number 6. A fish that lives in such water is a dots fish. Fish that lives in such water is a freshwater fish. Very good. A fish that lives in such water is a freshwater fish. Number 7. His only dots in life is to make money. His only in life is to make money. His only aim in life is to make money. His only aim in life is to make money. Number 8. The whole class is doing a dots in rainforests. The whole class is doing a dots on rainforests. The whole class is doing a project on rainforests. So the whole class is doing a project on rainforests. Number 9. This is the final dots of the hospital building project. This is the final of the hospital building project. This is the final phase of the hospital building project. This is the final phase of the hospital building project. Number 10. How much does your bag? How much? What word usually comes with how much? How much does your bag cost? And this time it is used as a verb. How much does your bag cost? Or what is the price of your bag? Okay. Now, writing about progress. Writing about progress. Progress reports usually have sections. Each one requires a particular tense, or it might need more than one tense. In the introduction, we have to state general facts, so we normally use the simple present tense. Then we might need current action, so this will mean we will need present continuous, the present continuous tense. If you're talking about current actions, something that is happening right now, we will need the present continuous tense. That is, for example, something is happening now. We'll need verb to be plus verb ing. Then, for the background, and as you remember, we said that in the background you have to talk about the beginning of the project. How did it start? How did people first think about it? So normally we would need, of course, the past simple tense. The past simple tense. As for the progress to date, it means the things that happened till today. We again need here the past simple tense. And if we talk about the future, things that will happen in the future or are expected in the future, we normally use will plus infinitive. That's, for example, the project will provide fresh water, for example. Okay, so we'll need will plus the infinitive. For the final achievement, again, we will need will plus the infinitive. A final achievement, we will need will plus the infinitive because normally it is something that will happen in the future. Okay, now we move on to the self-study again. Okay, remember we are doing writing now, so the self-study will be related to the area of writing. Write a progress report on an engineering project that is happening now in your country. Please be careful because this topic might be one of your questions on the exam. It might be one of the exams in the final test. So write a progress report on an engineering project that is happening now in your country. Okay, now we come to some tips if you'd like to write a report like this. Okay, number one, as we told you at the beginning, please write some research questions before you read. Write some research questions before you read. Number two, do some research and make notes on the form below. We'll give you the form right now. So you have to do some research on the internet, or you have to find some books to read them and make notes on the form below. Then write a draft. It's very important when you write anything, a report or a paragraph or an essay, you have to write a draft. Then write your progress report. You start the actual writing here. Then number 5, divide your report into sections with headings. Divide your report into sections with headings, and we have already dealt with the names of sections and headings. Okay, these are the questions you might ask. Where is the project? And here you can write some notes. Where is the project? Number 2, what is the name of the project? Very important. Number 3, who is doing the construction work? Is it a company, an individual? Who is doing the construction work? Number 4, what is the cost of the project? What is the cost of the project? Number 5, who is paying for the project? Is it the government or a company, or who? Who is paying for the project? Okay, another question. What is the aim or the purpose of the project? What is the aim or the purpose of the project? Number 7, what is the background of the project? What is the background of the project? Number 8, what is the progress to date? What happened till now? What happened till today? Number 9, what will happen in the future? What is expected to happen in the future? And finally, what will the project achieve? What will the project achieve? Again, this will be in the future. So these are questions you might ask yourself. You might put them in the same table or the form like this, and you can write some notes and then start your writing.
Okay, that's it for today. Thank you very much for listening, and see you next time. Goodbye.